Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel whether you're new or you're coming back. Today I'm gonna do a daily twin flame reading, but this is gonna be a special edition reading because we are experiencing new moon in Scorpio. For my time zone is gonna be tomorrow on November 13th at 4:28 a.m. EST time. It's gonna be the peak of that new moon. For your time zone, of course, adjust accordingly. But I'm doing this reading today to give you a little bit of a heads up on the energies, and as always, it's gonna last for a few days. As always, new moons are about setting intentions, revising your goals, right? What are you trying to achieve in the next lunar cycle, which is 28 days, right? You can review what you were doing, what you achieved in the previous cycle, right? And then what is the next step, or how do you want to adjust your long-term goals based on what you've learned. This is going to be new moon in Scorpio, so it's going to be so transformational, especially for the twins, because we're so sensitive to that kind of energy. I mean, that's what this Scorpio season is known for, right? In general, it's a death card in tarot, right? And the more conscious you approach this, the more you're gonna be in charge of what is it that's actually transforming, or at least why, right? Because it's harder for us to control how, but the why, the goal, that's something that we can fine-tune, let's call it that way, right? Otherwise things are gonna be happening to us, but we can change, or we can be more conscious and bring things in that will be happening for us. That's the goal. That's why we are doing this. Okay, so let's start with an oracle card for each of the twins, and then we'll see what are those transformations bringing. Generally for the twins and for the connection, of course. And at the end, we'll post some messages between the twins at this time, and I brought my Hermit Tarot deck, which I haven't used for a while, so I even missed it. You know, I was kind of tired of it at some point, but now I've missed it, so let's see. I was actually gonna do a Divine Masculine reading, but then I was like, yeah, no, today is definitely gonna be the new moon reading. And then I'll probably do the DM messages tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And if you noticed, I'm now doing daily card shorts. So it's just a quick and sweet message for you to have for your day, especially if you're not in the mood to watch a longer video, right? This is just something, a quick pick-me-up, a quick idea for inspiration, for being authentic, for doing something to add to the love and kindness of the collective. Okay, feminines, you have the card number 29, to be enlightened, lighten up, right? So especially when we're in the energy of death, you know, it can get grim, it can get painful, right? Like those growing pains, those transformations that our brain resists in every way possible, right? That can get messy, right? But if you lighten up, right, if you meet it with, I don't know if excitement is the right word, but let's say curiosity, right? With an open mind, that may help big time. It will actually help big time. Thank you for correcting me. In terms of how you're gonna adjust to the new energy and how you will be able to embrace it, right? Like how much goodness is gonna bring into your life, right? Because that's really the goal. To make your life better, happier, fuller. For masculines, we have number 24. Synchronicity is a love letter from the universe across time and space. So Divine Masculines, if you're wondering what is your next goal, what is your divine assignment, pay attention to synchronicities. They are important. If you're suddenly reminded of a show you used to watch 15 years ago, it's being reminded for a reason. Try to think what kind of associations do you have with that show. If you suddenly meet a colleague or somebody knocks on your IMs and it's a person that you haven't spoken to in 5 years, there is a reason for that, right? Like there will be things like that. And I'm not just saying like somebody said hi and you're trying to interrogate them now, why are you bothering me right now? It will come out naturally, right? Your task is just to pay attention. to see what is there. Okay, so I'll do 3 shuffles, and then the first question is going to be energies during this time. What should we expect during the new moon itself? Second question is, what is the opportunity for transformation for each of the twins individually? And the third question is going to be, what is the change in the connection dynamic for the twins, right? Like in terms of seeing the connection, or working the connection, right? 7 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Oof. It's like, I'm looking at this card and I'm being reminded that a lot of times we have good intentions, but you know, they say devil is in the details. And so when you're setting your intentions, be very mindful of whether there is an ego there somewhere with the goal of why you set this specific goal with, I don't know, this specific person, or in this, at this time, or in this location, or you want this specific title at work, or whatever it is, right? Like, think about the motives. Is it kind? Is it sincere and authentic to who you are and the life you want to lead? If it checks all those boxes, great. If not, then go back to the drawing board and think again. Now, it sounds a little weird, and I actually didn't pick up a clarifier card, but we'll use the After Tarot deck. The new moon is a time to plant seeds. And if you're gonna plant seeds that are not really good quality, then that's what, you know, you're gonna sow at the end. That's what you're gonna get. I mean, you're gonna learn either way, right? So from that perspective, you can relax. But if you're shooting for something more conscious and happy, you want to somehow accelerate your success, then definitely this is something to think about. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Cups. Yes, because that's the ultimate goal. So if your goal matches, like whatever your intention, your manifestation is, matches this, then hunky-dory. Okay, so what is happening with feminines during this new moon? 5 of Cups clarified by Page of Swords. So yeah, some bittersweet emotions may come up. And again, bittersweet here, actually. Because 5 of Cups is kind of both, right? And you'll be seeing the same situation from different sides. And it's possible that within one day, you may want to be happy about it and cry about it, like the same situation. But you'll have very different range of emotions around it. So just give yourself that space, right? And allow for the message to come through, right? The pages are messengers. So there is some truth that needs to be delivered to you about that situation, whatever it is that you are still grieving deep down, right? That's not fully healed. And it can be multiple things, but you obviously will know what exactly comes to your reality during this time. So just know that it's coming up because there's some additional information coming in for you, some download that you're supposed to get. It's like that missing piece that will allow for the healing to take on, or at least to speed up, to prepare you for something bigger and better. For masculines, we have the Hierophant clarified by the Devil. Oof, again, ego. So the masculines will be, it's like almost like, you know, like Hierophant is essentially a priest. So you have a priest and the devil, you know, you have like the the deity is, and the representation of a deity, and you know, the, what's it called, not the antichrist, but I wanted to say the adversary, right? Like you have the opposites, and it's important that to see what is like the choice made in good faith, right, with good intentions, but again, something that's not just dictated, something that's not just coming from external demands and expectations from society, but it's something that comes from soul, from heart, right? Of like what I believe, what I need right now, right? Bring that in. So there will be temptations to do something else, to follow the trend, to do what this friend has done, or I don't know, my mentor's brother has done, right? Or whatever, or what I read in a good book. But you need to feel through it, Divine Masculines, to see if it actually corresponds to your set of values, your personal set of values. Okay, the second one was, what is the opportunity for transformation for each of the twins? What are we transforming? For feminines, it's 7 of Wands clarified by 7 of Pentacles, right? So again, 7 is like this intention setting. So this is the intention setting, the seed planting, right? That the big part of intention setting is taking steps towards it, right? So this is being in your own right and proceeding with your desires, right? Taking them to the next level, taking them into action. 8 is actually the action, right? 7 is like this preparation step, the planning, the getting ready step, right? Like being prepared for taking action. There we go. How you approach it, moving the procrastination and fears and insecurities aside, and seeing very specifically what is needed for this specific goal, right? And helping you prepare. Not that, you know, not like when you get an ambitious goal onto your mind and you're like, I don't even know where to start. And then you don't know, like, it's so much work and I don't have the time for it right now. And then you never start, or you don't start for months and months on end, right? This is like, okay, I can see how I can start small and then kind of ramp it up. And maybe I'll bring this person that will help me, something along those lines. It becomes specific, where you don't have to be defensive and talk about all the things you have going on in your life, but also you're proactively planting those seeds. Masculines, what are they transforming? We have 2 of Swords clarified by 8 of Wands. And 8 of Wands is an after tarot card. So you see, this is like, to me, this is going against the flow, right? Like the flow is going this way and the person decides to go the opposite way. So yeah, this is like being indecisive or being resistant, right? Like the masculines are learning to stop the resistance. Because again, even if they have the best of intentions, a lot of times they end up making their own choice because they're falling into their fear, right? They're falling into their ego or their brain programming that's telling them that, nope, we don't know that path, so we're gonna do what we know well. And again, ending up making the bad choices. How is the attitude towards union changing for feminines? The Magician clarified by Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so they're seeing a lot more of kindness in this connection and how much more kindness and love they can bring in to their own life first and foremost, and then by extrapolation to their masculine's life, to other people around, right? Whoever is closer, whoever will give feedback first, but they'll see it, right? This is like that extra, like this purple light. This is like that extra enlightenment. Yes, I'll go to myself and I'll be focusing on things that I can control, which is about me and what I do, what impact I present to the world around me. Am I doing my light worker job? Because that's essentially what it comes down to, right? Our DM is like a reward, is like a bonus, but the key to why we're here is, of course, our light work, our mission. And that doesn't have to wait or somehow be put on stop, on hold, just because we're not with our DM. On the contrary, that's what I'm hearing. Thank you. Masculines, what are they thinking? 3 of Pentacles clarified by King of Wands. Yeah, so they also understand that they need to take a lead in a lot of this templating and a lot of setup, for this connection. So they are taking this homework. They're supposed to understand what they bring to the table within the Three of Pentacles. What is the role of their energy, the King of Wands energy, like in its good state, right? On a good day, what is it that's needed, right? What kind of qualities, what kind of skills and gifts they can bring in. And again, taking that homework forward to like, what do they still need to nurture or to learn or to improve in their own right to come together in this Three of Pentacles collaboration. Okay, messages from masculines to feminines during this time. Oh wow, right away. I want you and you're my everything. This is like no comments needed. There is a strong feeling of this pull of magnetism, of like, yes, like I can see my goal, I just need to figure out my way to get there. So this is like by the way, speaking of new moon, right? Like this is exactly the way that it's positioned for the masculines. Like that's the goal, right? And they see everything else that they're doing as a kind of different means of how they're gonna get to their feminine, to this union, how they're gonna unlock the much bigger potential, the big love, the happiness, everything. Even if feminines don't see it that way from masculines, that's what's on their mind, on their heart. That's their understanding in their 5D self. And from feminines to masculines. All right, all right. We have, I know you're from somewhere. Love is the answer, and think before you act. Yes, very practical, very logical. Feminines are definitely taking a more grounded approach, although they do realize that this is a past life connection, that like there's no way that people can just be at such an ease with each other just like that so quickly in this lifetime, right? But they also understand that love is not just like this fantasy. It's not a love bubble, right? That you just dive into it with pink glasses and you just keep floating. No, it needs to be practical, right? It still needs to be grounded in 3D. That comes down to our thoughts, our words, our actions, right? And that's what they're reminding the masculines, that as much as they recognize the soul connection, the deep magnetism, just as the masculines do, right? They're still expecting healthy interaction in 3D layer, right? And that's their intention for the connection during this time. That's what they are sending their masculines as a message. Okay, I hope this was good for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all, and I'll be back with my readings very, very soon.